Everything, yeah, sipping it slow. Everything, yeah, sipping it slow. At the corner looking for a thrift store. Carry that cargo, follow where carry go. Wanna be coupled like the parallel or cute as a pair perpendicular for the figure that you equate. Vacations and vacate to suck vacuums, evacuate the evaluated for the evil as Valerie hated for the stated for the statement that she meant to say for the sake for the sacrilege for the Sacramento mention. The attention attended, the windows too blind. The seeker to see the seams, the sight for short of the shy. That guy never crushed and couldn't wait for the tail, for another for the second, for the clock, last shot for a rebound. Hunter the hunt to catch up for the fast food. That fried French to the revolutionary revolt. Westernized constitutes to come. Situate for the consideration for the rations. Closed for sound for the hearings of courthouses, for the noise with the quarter orders and courtrooms. That for the dressing of a language of salad talk. Measure them croutons and weight like procrastinate enough for the casting of the hate words, which words to hate the destination's fate. The fatalities and allies, all lies and all lazy, all around, all square, all states and all mine. All file the money for the alimony. All before the celebrating of the celebs and celibates. For who not dictate the masturbate, but for catfish for behind shallow waters and batter the fish to the boner for the boneless, hollow for the heart, fillet like an Italian late night, linguine for the linger for the fingering, wheels to be in between for the losing the loser. Like that spark winner for the hurt for the window for that winter that went down for the whenever you can even endeavor. Severely for the separated for the race that all that rhetorical rivals. Get even revenge from vegans and vengeance. To vent for that beef and the opposing opinion for the initially compliments that a complaint. Comply to the complicated, to the compel for the communication. Come on, comments like meant to calm down for the companies to be alone. Store stock that's stacked out of shit. The shattered glass and glossary lips with the looking upon what was called stuck and struck down by men with the meniscus manipulative. Early to catch worms, catch fades. Catch a cold, catch you later for the situation you got caught. Up and down for the dialogue, nigga, the laundry claim for the money, for the money, for the man, for the how many mics and micromanage and microdose with the windows like an anaconda, why it came clouded. To the society and social websites, it's blind leading to dumbfounded. Claims that it should be climatic for the clitoris was the eye of the iris and the wrist of the suicide, the side with the sediment for what's meant to settle with the bill collectors and assholes and colons and cooler aid for the shit that was fed. The government to later shit the baby loans to Babylon. Elongate that slaughterhouse for the sheep and ship the shape to fit the awareness to critique the participants in front of mirrors of backgrounds that backstab you. Era that bleed. Backstage of audience to believing it's really over when the police showed up and showered the show with the order of no ordinary ordinance for the finance of finale, some competence to the competing for the compensation that were completely unable to afford. That taxes or interest of what you'd find interested to the greedy game show, the greatest show on earth, no circumstances, no circus, no energy, no circulation, no circular box seats for the fitting the criteria, the critics to criticize that. Critique that belongs to the boutiques, to the Botox, the bows and eyebrows that flow off the fact, the faucet, the vault, the vein, the dye, the dehydrate or any rate for the hiding of the hideous act that sparked the attention of the dim lights. That was the day of the diary, day of death, and the eating of letters and the paperback covers of piggy banks that.
Maybe. Cause I only have I don't know.
It can be the ending of the aqueduct with the beginning of the It can be the ending of an aqueduct with the beginning of the Wait a minute for the wallet to pick up the reality of a relationship that's sunk. You can shut off and tape to prove innocent and innocence through the money and the ending of the case of the brief. Carry the weight for the times, me count the money for the executed, the X to accept the cons and ends and you and the concept of the deception and decency to be deceit. The descent is a century of sense of poor perfume that fumigate the sum of it is something that's announced that words together to do is partially living partitions to partitions and particularly for the people that participate for the entire entity. This is is the enticing entitlement to lose the season to championships and chimpanzees. The champagne that numbs that pain for the champ that had to drink that rain for the anticipation of the stats and states that claims that clam, that spam for the email of that patriarchy for the letter that the spells that cast, that casting of the program that advertisers instantly and waiting for the Instagrams and that picture to be breastfeeding that are breathtaking enough to kill you to the protest of ignorance and negotiating the rants boost kids and boosters and they booted the boost picture that got me drunk in the first inning out with the wind spinning with the inner orbit of the Nathaniel needed for all of them, not for the negating of the negative emotions to abbreviate those apps to negotiate the notions and notice that note was left on a thought and that the be hung over for the scheming of skeptics and the surface of the karma that circulates in the current curriculum to the corresponding with the ducks in water like a bitch at a poop party that ain't eating hardy of thug at all the mall for the model for the ballers and the elaborate for the 11 they were playing hangman hungover dry humor and the human for the middleman to be the human being animal style for the drive-through at long and in and out for the longest line the menu for the order for the car for the french fries were French enough for the kiss thighs and the church's chicken after church and the specials that for the after church serving for the service and certitude for the certain circumstances circumcised circum in me so circumstances you stand in between weekends and windows of opportunity. It can be the ending of an it can be the ending of an aqueduct we beginning. Wait a minute for the water to pick up the reality of some relationship that's sung. You can shut off the tape to prove innocent and innocence of the money and the ending in the case of the brief. Carry the weight of the times, me count the money for the executed, the X to accept the cons and ends and you and the concept of the deception and decency to be deceit, the descent to sentence a century of sense of poor perfume that fumigate the sum of it or something that's announced that words together to do is partially living partitions to partitions and particularly for the people that participate for the entire entity. This is the enticing entitlement. It can be the ending of an aqueduct with the beginning of the wait a minute for the water to pick up the reality of a relationship. It can be the ending of an aqueduct. It can be the ending of an aqueduct with the beginning of the wait a minute for the water to pick up the reality of a relationship that's sunk. You can shut off and tape to prove innocent and innocence through the money and the ending in the case of the brief. Carried the weight for the times, me count the money for the executed, the X to accept the cons and ends and you and the concept of the deception and decency to be deceit. The descent to sentence a century of sense of poor perfume that fumigate the sum of it or something that's announced that words to gather together to do is partially living partitions to partitions and particularly for the people that participate for the entire entity. This is the enticing entitlement to lose the seasons of championships and chimpanzees. The champagne that numbs that pain for the champ that had to drink that rain for the anticipation of the stats and states that claims that clam, that spam for the email of that patriarchy for the letter that the spells that cast, that casting of the program that advertisers instantly waiting for the Instagrams and that picture to be breath. It can be the ending of an aqueduct with the beginning of it can be the ending of an aqueduct with the beginning of it can be the ending of an aqueduct with the beginning of wait a minute for the water to pick up the reality of some relationship that's sung. You can shut off and tape to prove innocent and innocence through the money and the ending in the case of the brief. Carry the weight for the times, me count the money for the executed, the X to accept the cons and ends and you and the concept of the deception and decency to be deceit, the descent to sentence a century of sense of poor perfume that fumigate the sum of it or something that's announced that words to gather together to do is partially living partitions to partitions and particularly for the people that participate for the entire entity. This is the enticing entitlement to lose the seasons of championships and chimpanzees. The champagne that numbs that pain for the champ that had to drink that rain for the anticipation of the stats and states that claims that clam, that spam for the email of that patriarchy for the letter that the spells that casting of the program that advertisers instantly and waiting for the Instagrams and that picture to be breastfeeding that are breathtaking enough for the kill you to the protest of ignorance and negotiating the rants boost kids and boosters and they booted the boost picture that got me drunk in the first inning out with the wind spinning with the inner orbit of the Nathaniel needed for all of them, not for the negating of the negative emotions to abbreviate those apps to negotiate the notions and notice that note was left on a thought and that the be hung over for the scheming of skeptics and the surface of the karma for circulates in the current curriculum to the corresponding with the ducks in water like a bitch at a poop party that ain't eating hardy of thug at all the mall for the model for the ballers and the elaborate for the 11 they were playing hangman hungover dry human, the human for the middleman to be the human. Being animal style for the drive-through at long and in and out for the longest line, the menu for the order for the car, for the French fries were French enough for the kiss thighs, and churches, chicken after church, and specials that for the after church serving for the service of certitude for the certain circumstances, certain size, circum and be so circumstances. You stand in between weekends and